Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of the GCM Garage. We have one little quick video here today just to talk about tire foams. It's really important when you're trying to set up a scale truck that you get the tire squish just right. So, for example, when the tire is sitting on the ground in the truck, you want to make sure that it has a little bit of squish down. Not so it's jacked up high sitting in the middle of the tire. You want to make sure that the tire with the weight on the truck has a little bit of weight on it like this. So it looks like the tire is kind of going a little bit flat. And the way you can do that is to make sure that your tire foam is sized appropriately for the tire. So, for instance, this here is a axial rip saw, the 1.9. This comes with the Dingo kit and on a variety of other trucks. And so you can get this tire with the stock foam, with the stock gray foam. And when you use this on the axial rim, which is a glue-on, the tire outside diameter, as you can see, is just a little bit larger than the actual foam. And if you look at the inside of the foam is basically the same as the diameter of the inside of the tire. So if you were to glue this onto a rim, you'd have no problem with the tire squish. The tire squish would be minimal at best. Now, with our scalers, we like to have the tire squish just a little bit more than that. We like the tire squish to kind of compress the sidewall just a little bit. So on our install, we're going to put these axial rip saws onto the Dingo kit using a beadlock rim. Now our beadlock rims have an inside collar that's a little bit bigger diameter than the plastic rim is, because the collar locks the two sides of the diff together, of the beadlock together. So we're going to cut the foam to make sure that when the inside of the foam grows a little bit with the beadlock, the diameter on the outside doesn't change. Now the way we're doing that is we've taken the original foam and we've actually just snipped off a little bit. We've cut a little bit off all the way around, as you can see. So the diameter is just slightly smaller now than it was before. That way when we install the foam into the tire, there's going to be lots of room for the foam to leave the tread on the trail. You want to make sure that when you're driving around with the scale truck, you're getting the maximum traction out of your tire. Now these tires happen to be pretty sticky. You can see they're so sticky you have a hard time getting the foam in them. We'll just roll that around just like this. And that sits nice. So when this is sitting on the ground right now, it almost has the right tire squish just the way it is right now, without any truck weight on it. So when we put the weight on it with the truck and the rim, we should have a nice tire squish on there. Not too much, but just enough so that the tread is going to sit flat. You don't want the tread sticking up at the crown like this. The tread right now in its natural position is high. We want it to sit kind of flat, so it's got the maximum contact on the ground. Now there's a couple other ways you can do that. Instead of cutting around the outside diameter like this, just cutting all the way around, you can also star cut it. The easiest way to do this, we've done this on our crawler foams. This is a J concept for a 2.2. The easiest way to do this is to trace a pattern on the inside diameter to make sure that you don't cut too far. And you know that you've got just enough foam all the way around to make sure you have a nice clear path all the way around. Then you can cut out each slice into a V. So what happens now is when the tire is rolling, the foam is actually compressing like this. This is the reason why this works. Because as the tire is rolling, the foam, these two layers of foam will actually come together. And they come together and give space for the tread to sit flat. So if we were to try to keep this round here and roll this flat, you can see that the compression squishes the V. That's another technique on getting the tire to squish without losing the sidewall or the thickness of the foam. Now in our case, we're just going to cut the outside, and let's get these installed on the truck on our bead locks and have a look at how they sit. Alright, so let's have a look at these new tires we've installed here with our cut foams. There's our Dingo here, and We really like these. We like the way they look on the truck. We like the way they squish on the rocks. You can see here on the tire at the front, there's just a small little rock there, but that makes a big difference to have the foams cut. I mean, you can see here, the tire, there's almost nothing in there. So with the cut foam, we've got actually room for the tire to squish on the rocks, pretty much just with the weight of the truck. And then when you start rolling in the front, like with the, when you get to the rock, the tire conforms. I mean, have a look at that front tire. It conforms right around the rock so that the tire's got the maximum amount of bite. And that's really, really great for performance. So I'm going to go hit the trails with this thing and have a look at how these work. But so far, I'm really happy with the cut foams and the rip saws. This is going to be great.